I don't know if they'll want to have their faces shown, to be honest with you. You know, they're incredible for the country. They're not looking for public relations, but they love doing what they're doing. I've seen it. First Lady was out there recently looking at what they do. She came back, she said, wow, I've never seen anything like that. The training, you know, all of the training and the power of the people, the men and women, the strength, the physical strength, the mental strength. These are incredible people. These are very unique individuals.
So it is to the printing press, to the recorder of man's deeds, the keeper of his conscience, the courier of his news, that we look for strength and assistance. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive.
All right, brother. Patriots.
Airborne, everybody. Airborne. Good morning, Airborne.
Happy Tuesday. I was going to say happy Monday. I had everything written up for Monday. And it's not Monday.
Tuesday, man. Tuesday.
No, my kids are on fall break, so they didn't have school yesterday, so it feels like a Monday to me.
I hear you.
Lots happening. I know Woodman this morning was going backwards in time, and that's awesome to do. We all should do that a little bit more, just to see from then till now. But quickly, what did you take he was actually watching some Hillary Trump debates from the 2016 as both candidates were going at it, but in the GIFs, sum it up what you saw.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, Hillary bragging about child services that save a lot of children. They have health care and yada 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 yada. And Trump is nothing but a liar. Of course, now I'll tell you, it was really neat to watch how President Trump and Killer Hillary were doing this debate thing, because he'd call her out on stuff, man, and she'd just smile and try and deny it one way or another, But Trump called her out. I mean, he just flat out called her out, and amazing. I was kind of bored this morning, so I watched that, and of course, I heard about the Washington Post, how they portrayed this Bugatti guy as a religious leader, that just died at the age of 48. Wait, give me a break. And then Gutfield, I was watching him too. I love him. I'm sorry. The one thing he put out was Dems are screwing America, and they're doing it in the dark. And man, he's just so much information, and he does it in a joking manner. Should catch everybody's eye, Yeah, I was kind of bored, so I was going through all that stuff this morning. It's just the funniest thing was the debate. I mean, talking about what the plans were. Bull hockey. Talking about how if Trump was president, it'd go downhill. He called her out about, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Well, okay, well, he became president, and guess what? He'd done this and he'd done that. Now we have like the lowest unemployment rate, for every individual, any spectrum you're going to talk about,
I would say just keeping it on, or just talking about this number one terrorist in the world. That's what he was labeled. Trump didn't label him that. That's what he was for several years. We've been looking for him, almost like Osama bin Laden, which was 7 years, 8 years, 9 years. This guy's been on the radar for 5 something. He's been released under the Obama, because if we remember, Obama released tons of prisoners because they shut down places, and we'll just release them. We don't have enough room. And then this guy that was released, already in capture once, becomes a number one guy. And then when they get him, I didn't know how they were going to. I thought, well, let's watch this unfold. Trump and the special forces didn't really get him. The guy blew himself up. I mean, you hear it all. But yeah, he was cornered. You know, you could, you know, he was cornered in the end of some cave, didn't have nowhere to go, dragging his kids, family, whatever, blows himself up. That wouldn't have happened unless he was cornered by these special forces. So, however you want to look at that. Secondly, you know, Obama got Osama. You had Bush get Saddam. You had, you know, Hillary and Obama get Gaddafi. I mean, they were going around systematically, Hillary and Obama, when she was head of the State Department, and they were killing off, playing their little game around the country where they were killing elected officials by arming rogue groups in these countries to get rid of an elected person. Sometimes, I'm not saying every one of these places were elected in, but most of the time, whatever, and then creating issues in these foreign countries where the people that they would want put in that would work better with the U.S. or this rogue group in our government didn't work out so well because the people would always reject these. We don't want this guy that you guys are sliding in here after the other one got murdered off. They would reject, and it wouldn't work out, and they created pure chaos in places. And then they'd turn their back, and since it was all an under the books deal, let's try it again over here and go try it somewhere else, and create a lot of issues. You know, it's like they're creating these pockets of issues for us to be involved in years later that are still folding out today. So nobody had no issues with any of that. Now with this one, the other big spin Woodman was, they killed this guy, and this deemed that he was looked at like a huge religious figure. This is the same thing they tried saying for, you know, OBL, Osama bin Laden, that it was going to create this or that. But so why was he the number one most wanted person on all countries' radars? He gets taken, and now it's a bad thing possibly because it's going to create some other issue. It's like, oh my gosh, so we don't take him off the list then. Nobody wrote articles about he shouldn't be on the list a couple months ago. They waited. And again, it's just a way to, you know, it's not a good thing that Trump did it. It wouldn't, no matter what. Feed the hunger, don't feed the hunger, feed the hunger of the world, feed the hunger here. It's bad, it's good, it's no good. I don't understand, you guys. It's just a total denial of anything. The media is, I think you're going to look at polls, 92%, 90% has been negative information on Trump since he's taken office. 90% has been bad coverage, bad opinionated press coverage. When he does something good, they still somehow try to make it bad. Right?
And that's all. That's all he's done is turned the country around. It is for the people.
For all people, right? Not a certain race, not a certain religion, not a certain group. For all people. And Woodman, you were getting into that. His some of his numbers, right? What were you hearing? He's got the highest. You could probably rattle some of that off. The highest unemployment numbers, or people are working. It's the lowest for, you know, Mexican Americans, the Black American, even the white American. I mean, it's great.
Everybody. Bringing jobs back to America too. Steel. They were talking about steel. Well, yeah, China dumping off all this steel. Well, shut us down, and they were all for it. Man, look, Trump ain't. Steel's coming back. American stuff. American made. He's doing it all.
Now, little by little. Look. Now, and a lot of people, and it agreed. It's like if we're in 100 years of if we go from 1871, the Organic Act of 1871. Now, what a lot of people don't understand, and I'll touch on it, how our Constitution that we all like to refer to has been usurped. Abraham Lincoln put in the Insurrection Act, and it was supposed to be for a short amount of time. Things were happening. He got killed. All right, he got assassinated. The Insurrection Act was never lifted properly. These people that were around him, and I think some of them back then were working with this foreign group to let the England rule come back. I don't know. But they kind of stood and looked at each other like, wow, he's dead now. We won't lift this veil. And then they worked quickly, not real quickly, but for several years to write D.C.'s law, D.C.'s Constitution. And when they unveiled that and then put down the Insurrection Act, finally, after keeping that up, it kind of put theirs above ours. If you read over time, and then with the Fed, because we didn't have taxes like that before. Once they put their thing in, and then you come up to 1917 even, and get into the Fed Reserve stuff, they have totally screwed us. Trump is filling up our coffers for the first time with tariffs. Again, it's the mainstream's, it's bad, tariffs are stupid, it's only billions of dollars that he's getting into the coffers. Billions, folks. We get trillions. Yeah. We already get trillions. And they don't tell you, well, how do you get that trillions? Well, from you guys, your first 4 months of working every year. Till April 1st, we take all your money. And that's exactly what it is. Yes, they take it little by little, week by week on your paychecks. But honestly, if you take all that and add it up, you work from January 1st to April 1st, folks. That all goes to the government. Yep. Then from April 1st to the end of the year, you're earning for yourself, for your family. We need to get our borders up. They need to be secured. Because we're going to do what we originally planned on and be kings and queens. All of us own a little property. All of us will use tariffs to pay the way. This is what, they've gotten it flipped. And the clutches the powers that be do not want to unlift that veil. So that's why you're seeing the media scream against the tariffs. All the articles that you can read are against them. Because the handlers are putting down that message. This is bad. This is bad. It's like the guy that's for the electric car, but he's surrounded by the oil tycoons. You're not going to get very far. They don't want your idea to take off because you're impeding on their idea, what they want. Right. That's why we don't have this. Trump's relationship to Tesla. His uncle, John Trump, the paperwork that was left to Trump, Trump's in control of that. He knows about free energy that they've been manipulating. These UFOs, these things we've seen, people have reported for 20 years that make weird shapes. I'm a witness to them. I got it on film. I've showed it on this channel before. My small daughter at the time over at the neighbor's pool. What is that, Daddy? And I points up and the neighbors see it. We all grab. My neighbor runs in and gets a damn telescope. One that you look through, and we get the phones out, and next thing you know, there's 30, 40, 50 of these orbs doing maneuvers that are crazy. Now, I don't rush to say, I believe in, now there's little green men driving them. I didn't see any of that. I just saw these things that were doing something, and I'm going to tell you right now, doing the research I have, folks, they've been playing with these things. This is the technology that we see. Is it military experiments and testing? Yes, of course. When you see something and then everyone's like, it's a UFO. We went to the base. We asked them. They refused to confirm nor deny. That's normal. They love that. They love that they can go test something, and the majority of the people might think it's alien spacecraft. That is the best thing that they could hope for. It promotes some other agenda they might have, and it just keeps the eyes off their technology. Now they've been suppressing that energy, the process of how these things can move and do. We can be using that for energy, and it would create free energy. Again, that impedes on huge facets of this country that don't want that to happen. Well, how do we charge people over and over for that? Well, you don't. That's not good for us. We want to burn up the oil and sell every last drip. So lots of things haven't moved forward for us just because of suppression and, evil, greedy men. It's all coming. But you have to do something, a lot of people are like, Trump could have got in and arrested Hillary with a pair of handcuffs and with the stroke of a pen, one quick stroke undid a lot of things. Well, maybe. But wouldn't you want a little coffers of some money if you're going to do something with the country? Wasn't JFK going to, silverback it again? You have to have process. As much as process as it took to come in, you kind of have to have a little bit of process. A lot of things won't change for people. The way you live, the way you go to work, those things stay the same. It'll be just a lot of things around us changing. Like I said, a lot more organic foods are coming in naturally, as much as the other things came in slowly and surely. Things have to back up that way as well. The propaganda as well, as they take down the handlers and these people are left there. Some of them that have nothing more to say, they'll be gone. Other ones can conform to truth. I hope. I mean, some of them are ruined forever. We know that. So anyway, Woodman, what did I have written here? That was kind of, so Trump kept talking about, what do you think about this basement floor? Some bunker in the bottom of the White House where they're running this impeachment out of.
Well,
Trump
look,
keeps talking about it. I mean, that's just.
I try not to focus on it because we already know it's a bunch of crap. But they still haven't. As far as I know, they haven't got the vote done yet. I don't know.
No.
Behind closed doors. They've been doing it for over a month. But go back to work. Forget all this stupid crap, man. Are you kidding me? They're looking bad. America is watching. They're looking bad.
The world is watching.
Man,
put it this way. So, like you said, a vote. What kind of vote are they wanting to do? Like, get all the Democrats riled up only so they can get enough to pass in the House? Is that their thing here?
Number-wise, yep.
Okay, so if they can convince people, they're having these one-sided meetings, no Republicans allowed. Then you see this whole, raid go down on this terrorist guy, and Trump didn't let the Gang of Eight know. Now, we know the Gang of Eight consists of, back in the day, that's what makes this so interesting. Adam Schiff is part of the Gang of Eight, but yet for 2 years he went around talking about Trump-Russia collusion and that he had proof. He saw it, and trust me, I've seen it. And everyone's like, now, is this just your opinion? He's like, no. I've seen it. I got proof. But yet nothing. Evidence, he never turned nothing. I got the evidence. Nothing's came out. Yeah. Is he holding this evidence in his safe at home? The trial is now over. It's a little late. He should have turned that in. That goes away. He quits talking about it. Now it's this new one-sided impeachment. They have the rights to do it, but yeah, they leak. Trump's talked about, he's been in meetings, secret things that Schiff gets up, excuses, I got to use the restroom, goes, comes back, and things hit the paper as he's tightening up his tie back to his collar. And it's like, whoa, that was some real-time leak. We just got done talking about that is the very same thing. He leaves, comes back. Well,
what they've been doing for 30 days, trying to get their act together so everybody's on the same page. But the problem is these informants are changing. I'm not kidding. They had one and he doesn't do it anymore. They had another one, he doesn't do it anymore. They're just trying. They have to get everybody on the same page so they can, outnumber it and vote for that. I just go to work, do the job you were hired to do. They're not going to win. Everybody knows it. They're not going to.
Well,
no impeachment. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen, man. It's just
what do you
not
think about
happen.
Hillary being running for president or something, possibly? If things don't go down for her, this would be like the third time she ran in 08, right? 08.
She's going to jail.
She ran in 08. She didn't run in 2012. Yeah, we've all heard she's going to jail, but as of right now, she's not, or that we know of, and there's a lot of talk about her running. I'm saying.
Well,
she's already failed twice, right? You run in 08, and then you run again in 2016.
Yeah.
8 years later, and you lost again, and then you want to run a third time.
Dems can't find anybody to run against Trump. End of statement, and that's just how it is. And they're trying every angle.
They're desperate.
Ever since he's been in office.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
so
Hillary Clinton thinks God put her on this planet to be president or something. That's what she says here. Hillary Clinton thinks God put her on Earth to be president, says former advisor to her.
she can be a president of the Chomo class. You know what I mean? God. People are waking up. They really are. Come on, they really are. They're waking up. They're not blind. And we've been kind of chuckling about it for quite a long time, and now things are starting to really come out. I mean, they really are coming out. Not a theory anymore, or what things look like is going to happen. It's already coming out, and it's coming out in real nice waves, so everybody's can understand what's going on.
It's a legal process of it. There's no leaks. You're not getting it's like a slow flow of information, a waterfall of information that just keeps coming at a nice little tricket.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna
we need that. We need that.
Yeah, this is how you wake up the country back to real news and process.
Yeah.
And it doesn't shock anyone to run away with story after story of. So AG Barr slams Comey. Attorney General Barr slams Comey in a rare interview. Fired FBI director now in the FBI crosshairs. Attorney General Barr defends the independence and integrity of the political continuous probe being led by U.S. Attorney General John Durham into handling of the Russia investigation while taking a swipe at James Comey's past leadership of the FBI. Barr took a implicit swipe at Comey as he maintained current FBI Director Christopher Wray is cooperating. And this is what Barr, here's Barr's words. I do not want to say that one of the reasons Mr. Durham is able to make a kind of progress he's making is because Director Wray and his team at the FBI have just been outstanding in support and responsiveness given to Mr. Durham, Barr said. As you know, I've said previously that I felt there was a failure of leadership at the Bureau in 2016 and part of 2017. But since Director Wray and his team have taken over there's been a world of change. I think that he is restoring the steady professionalism that's been a hallmark of the FBI. I really appreciate his leadership there. In response to criticism, Barr said, it wouldn't be appropriate at this stage for me to discuss the Durham investigation. He said he certainly informed the public and Congress when possible. So there you go.
Airborne.
He also responded about a recent trip he took in relation to Durham's investigation to Italy, where he went to Rome, explaining that they visited to help Durham establish ties with countries that might have helpful information. While some of the countries that John Durham thought might have some information that would be helpful to the investigation wanted preliminary to talk to me about the scope of the investigation, the nature of the investigation, and how I intended to handle confidential information and so forth, Barr said. So I initially discussed these matters with those countries and introduced them to John Durham and established a channel by which Mr. Durham can obtain assistance. So, folks, they are going all over. They were everywhere that these people wanted to go and operate. We're talking like Ukraine, China, all these places where they had Biden's son set up as well. Like Trump said, this looks like a lot of payoff money. A lot of, you don't pay these kinds of money, you know what I'm saying, Woodman? I mean, it's like, you just don't get hired to do things you don't know how to do. If you're cocaine booted out of the Navy, all right, that's one thing. Getting cocaine booted out of the Navy. Most people have a really, really hard time landing on their feet, folks. Okay? I known tons of people to get booted out on their different administrative, BCD, big chicken dinner, discharge, BCD, bad conduct discharge. We call it the big chicken dinner. BCD, other than honorable, administrative. There's all kinds dishonorable discharge, right? That's like the crazy one anymore. I mean, literally, you have to like kill somebody, not in combat, like back in the States here, getting into some really bad trouble to get a DD. Now Hunter Biden didn't get a dishonorable discharge. That's tough to get. He got a other than or something, or administratively, they softened the blow, but he still got booted out for drugs, and he trips, falls, and lands into a $180,000 a month gig with
gets promoted to that. He gets promoted to that.
For being in the service to this. For bad things, and that just doesn't happen. And plus, you don't know anything about what you got into. That's the other kicker. That you don't normally get hired into commodities of like the energy department or the unless you know a little something. Like, what's your background in the military? Oh, I was a nuclear engineer. I know all. Okay, this is a nuclear power plant. That kind of works.
Right.
But not when you're, a cook in the Navy, and then you get hired to be, the sales of some, the head of some banking department for savings and loans. It just doesn't add up. So with a crack pipe in the Hertz car as well. Yes, that whole story.
People don't know. People just don't know. Nobody talks about it.
Nobody cared. That was kept really quiet under the last administration. No media was there to tell us all about it. There was a few articles. We have to be fair. There's a few. It's like they're always there. The real articles are always there. And like Trump said, I read the paper. He said it perfect. I read all the papers. I like to see, sift around for the real news. And that's exactly what we do. Sift around for the real news, folks. That's That's what you have to do in this day and age.
Energetic man, that's for sure. I mean, and he gets, it's like a rush to him, defeating these Democrats. Look, check it out. With nothing but an uphill battle for, now 3 years, he's done positive things for our country on an uphill battle, constantly. And is still battling right now. I think he really likes it. I really do, because he gets a chance to shine for real. I mean, really. People, I hope they wake up pretty soon. He's really doing us a tremendous favor. Getting rid of the crap. Drain that swamp, man. Yahoo! Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but over in India, man, there's a lot of Christians being killed over there. We need to pray for all those people over there in India. I don't know the whole gist of it, but I got something a couple of days ago, and pray for them, man. They're getting slaughtered. Churches being burnt. And, it's a sad thing. Very terrible. Terrible. Didn't mean to change the thought here, but I just seen a little note here.
No, you're fine. I was looking at something over here, and I was going to read this here for a minute. So the Defense Department officials are slowly leaking out all the details of the shocking raid in western Syria that resulted in the death of the ISIS mastermind, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. And there may even be a video of the exact moment, Woodman, that al-Baghdadi detonated his own suicide vest, killing himself and several members of his family that we're hearing about, so that he couldn't be taken alive by the American military and put into Gitmo, where we need to feed Gitmo. # feed Gitmo. The Daily Mail reports that between 50 and 70 members of a U.S. Army Delta Force and Rangers flew in on 6 helicopters and surrounded al-Baghdadi during the overnight raid in Syria, Adlab province, per sources say. The attack had been planned, no doubt, for weeks, and you can bet your bottom dollar these this joint special forces mission, they were training probably had a mock compound set up of the exact, so they can just keep running through. So when they get there that day, this is like clockwork to them. They're doing it in their sleep. So the attack had been planned for weeks, and they were doing all their training. President Donald Trump told reporters during a press conference Sunday morning, and a special team of soldiers was amassed for the raid. The team knew, based on information from friendly intelligence sources in the area, that al-Baghdadi was lurking in the Syrian border towns, often wearing a non-traditional or just regular clothing, using a civilian car, making sure that anyone around him had no mobile phones or electronic devices in order to bypass any detection that our government uses. Al-Baghdadi arrived at the compound where he ultimately perished a mere 48 hours before the U.S. military raid. U.S. military's raid. He was accompanied there by 2 of his wives and several of his children, all of whom were outfitted with suicide vests. Defense officials said Sunday that the team made several attempts to capture the ISIS bigwig, easily the world's most wanted terrorist, but aborted them. The raid that took place sometime between Friday evening and Sunday morning in Syria was successful. So I don't understand that. Al-Baghdadi arrived at the compound where he ultimately perished at a mere 48 hours before the U.S. military's raid. I don't understand that.
Well, it's got to be a typo.
Yeah, it's a typo. So
it's got it. Yeah.
It is a typo. Yeah. I found one. You find those time to time. Sometimes the whole story is just wrong. It's amazing.
Well, I like the way that Trump described it. He died like a whiny, whimpering dog.
Scared.
Coward, you know it, man.
Why me?
Yeah. Oh, man.
That's how it normally goes down. Big fish in a small pond. Al-Baghdadi arrived at the compound where he ultimately perished. A mere 48 hours. Okay. Yeah, I read it now. Yeah, grilling is awesome there. No, I just didn't pause enough, and I'm seeing it now. So basically, al-Baghdadi arrived at the compound where he ultimately died a mere 48 hours before the raid took place. So there you go. He was there. He just got to that compound about 48 hours, 2 days before his life was.
I'd like to know who the 11 people that they took out. I'd like to know who that is.
They said some of the other people.
Yeah, I don't know if it's wives and children. I don't know.
Well,
It'd be nice to know.
you would think that account as account. But I've been watching this new show on I don't know what channel it's. But it's called Leavenworth. It's about the Leavenworth prison, military. Oh, yeah. And there are different stories from our troops that are hemmed up in these crazy scenarios. I'm not saying they're not all. It's just the chaos of war and then the rules of engagement that have gotten people. So pretty crazy. This story last night, the guy ordered a shooting of a couple people on motorcycles. And the people are arguing with him on the radio like, no, we're not supposed to engage on motorcycles or something. And they started arguing, and this guy in charge like, God damn it, do it. And they shot and took him out, and then it ended up being just a couple women from this village, and they were all upset. And then all like 30 or 40 people said that this guy, as the people were pointing at him, and he was, shut up, or I'll shoot you, and just went nuts. And, he's sitting in prison now like, no, I didn't do any of that. They're all against me. He was basically the whole division was, setting them up. Right. That's what he thought. But they showed each and every one of them individuals like, no, this is what we all witnessed. He did do this. He was screaming. He was probably upset at what he had made happen. And he went to a few of the guys like, how are we going to cover this up? And they're like, we're not. So I don't know. It's unfortunate. That's the issues that our service members deal with. A couple years over in these areas, Some people handle it better. Everybody's sets of eyes that go into their brain are a little different, folks. You can look at your eyes like a recording device, like your phone. I'm going to record a video or a camcorder, but these are recording for your memory, and it affects everybody differently. You can go through all the training, these special forces guys, the videos I did that I did, salute these people. You don't know what they go through. Like Woodman was saying, they do, they're the world's 911. They can respond with the different groups stationed all across the world. Being in the Navy, I knew more about the SEALs, but there's multiple teams. They're stationed everywhere, and the same with, I would imagine, with all the other branches. In that video, I didn't mean to leave anyone out. It's just a short video. I can do another one. I'm working on one, but I know the Marines got theirs. I didn't even cover them in that. But the point of that being is these guys, depending on they all hold a unique set of skills, and together they can get things done, and move mountains, and they are do the things in the dark corners of this world that we don't even know or imagine, and they don't want the credit for it. It's just a job that sometimes has to be done. We don't want that abused. We don't want to abuse them, or put their families or themselves through anything more than what has to happen. But I just wanted to say that, and God bless all of
Fort
them.
Bragg has Fort Bragg has a lot of people that do that kind of stuff. It's tons of people, and like you say, the Marines. So I'll tell you what, those guys are. Hey man, I don't care what anybody says. You can argue all day with me, but those boys are tough. I'm gonna tell you what, they're tough. And then there's even
they have a special forces group too. So we know all Marines are just bad. Awesome. All people in all branches are great, but these special forces, they do a little bit more dialed in things, folks. And but no, somebody, and like I said, that video covered, because there's multiple. I know the Delta Force that is out of the Air Force, or is it Delta Force Air Force, or is that Army?
Technically, it's a combination.
Okay, that's a joint. That's always been a joint. Okay, so the Air Force has one that's like, it's been classified, the existence of its own program. I think it's called the Paratrooper, or it's like the Superman school, they call it. And I watched something on that a few years ago, like up until this video, it's like the whole existence of this program's never been allowed to be talked about. I was like, wow, never even knew. So, and then the Marine, you got Marine Force Recon, or I think it's Force Recon, which is their special unit. So, didn't mean to leave anyone out, by the way. I just had some comments coming in on the videos, like, you forgot this group. Didn't forget, didn't have all the time in the world to, PJs, there you go, PJs in the Air Force. So, hey.
Look, they all do a tremendous job, man. And like you say, Mike, you didn't mean to leave anybody out, but these people are highly trained. I know, because I went through the same stuff. These people are highly trained, and that's all they do every day. Is a job. That's why they're so sharp. That's why they're so accurate. It's a job. They do it over and over and over and over and over again. It's a job. Proficient. That's the word I can say, and I mean that. I 45 plus years ago, that's what I was involved in. And I'll tell you what, there was a single one there that I wouldn't worry about turning my back on, because I know they've got my back. And if anybody says I've been through it, they are badasses, everybody together. All these teams, once something like this happens, teams are not there. There's no more team. They are a group. They are like a well-oiled machine. They're, I hate to say it, but it's true. They're proficient at killing. It's their job. They defend our country with their lives. They put their lives on the ground. They're, I can't say enough about them. Tremendous people. tremendous people, man. That's all I got to say. I just hope people understand what is all involved in our freedom and how we get to keep it. You know, I'm sure glad we're not Russian and not, you know, or any other country. We're American, man. Let's keep it. You know, free and the brave, man.
That's right.
Come on
no,
now.
it's like I have that one shirt years ago. It's like if you're reading in the back, it said if you're reading this in English, thank a teacher. Or no, if you're reading this, thank a teacher. If it's in English, thank a vet.
Yeah.
If you're reading it, thank a teacher because you know how to read. But if it's in English,
Right.
thank a veteran because it could be in Russian or, you know.
Exactly. You know it. Hey, that's true, man. That's really. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for anyone in any branch of service. I don't care what they do. If they weren't there, the whole thing would fall apart. A little crumb here and there. They need to, our militaries, all of them, they are very important, highly trained people, and they do it. That's their job. Every day, you know, everybody's got a job. Think about this aspect. Everybody has a job, you know, and the only way to get any better at it or go up the ladder is to do nothing but tremendous work proficiently. The military is the same. We have to thank them. God, good Lord, any veteran you see, shake their hand, buy them a beer.
Oh, real quick, I wanted to mention, not to cut you off at all, but I see John Hook. I think John Hook is in the room. I just saw his message late last night. He was down in the Florida area. He actually got to see JT Wild down there. We were kind of going back and forth, I think Friday evening, but he was down there, got to see JT Wild. You know, we all know JT sings the Where We Go One, We Go All. It was great, and just a great artist. And we're trying to work on him coming down to the Legion, Woodman. We're going to be setting up a couple different funds here. We want to help raise a little cash for people like that are traveling in to perform, and this is their livelihood. This is what they do, so we have no issue with that. We want to be able to see what we can get for JT Wild. We want to be able to help some of the mods that are going to be coming, because also we're going to be relying on some of the mods, hopefully, for this event to do some of the things we have planned with some cameras, and we just want to make a documentary as well. So JT
Really?
Wild has a new song, Digital Soldiers. Okay. I think I've actually heard that part of it. I can't remember. I'm going to be checking that out. So John, yep, keep talking to him. I'll get back with you. I saw this morning, he's like, when are you going live again? Well, we just did. Didn't have a chance, and we will not be live on the actual Patriot Hour for several more months. They're kind of messing with us, so to be like in January at this point. We're just trying to hope we get that back by time of our show. So in August.
Yeah, oh, it'll be all right.
But regardless, we're going to have a good time. So August 14th and 15th of 2020. Don't forget.
Yep.
All right, we're going to do what we normally do here. We're going to give some shout outs. Go ahead and let us know where you're coming in from. And we always like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Great Patriots.
Checking in from Sweet Home, Alabama, Thumper Rose.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
South Kakalaki, Face, Missouri, Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Gosford, Australia, Southwestern Michigan, Arkansas, Kentucky, Wabatucky, New York, Southwestern Michigan, Arkansas, Kentucky,
California.
California.
California, you know it, brother.
No. California is a great
Massachusetts.
place, folks. It's beautiful. It's just some of the people there,
Yeah.
just like anywhere else. Tallahassee, Florida,
Yeah.
Colorado, and in Alabama. I like how you guys come up with stuff. You know, do your best. Like Ted in Texas, Frank in Florida. I'm just making stuff up. Ohio here, Patriots. Paris, Texas. Never been. Georgia, Wyoming, South Texas. Couple people from Paris, Texas, unless it's the same person. Or that's going down. I don't know. I get confused reading it that way. Maine, California. Cali was a red state. Take it back. Florida, sunny Florida.
Really?
Yeah, Norway. A little bit of Norway.
We all right.
Over the
All
pond. Snow Girl Annie. Chipping
Ooh-wee, yeah.
salary near Bristol and Bath, England. Nice.
Oh yeah, man.
That was Fox.
Fantastic.
The Mitten State. Dana Finkler. What is the Mitten? What is that? That's Michigan? No. What is the Mitten State? Which one
I
looks
don't
like
know. I don't know.
a little riddle there? Gitmo. Hashtag feed Gitmo.
You know it.
Checking in from Gitmo. That's funny.
All right, man.
Checking in from Gitmo. Yep, Mitten is Michigan. I was right.
All right.
Oh, Mitten, Michigan.
All right.
Mitten is Michigan. Mitten in Michigan. Mitten,
There you
Michigan.
go. There you
Gotcha.
go. Huh. Wow.
Checking in from Gitmo. I can't get Mo satisfaction.
You know,
You
brother.
gotta feed the Gitmo. You gotta feed the Gitmo. You gotta feed Gitmo.
Oh boy. Yeah, well, it's gonna be fed, all right.
Well, Obama wanted to shut it down, man. You know.
I know.
And here Trump,
Let
like,
my buddies.
I highly encourage everybody that doubts this. Like, literally, if we all remember, Obama had his 5 little things. I'm gonna shut down Gitmo. I'm gonna pull all the troops out. We all know he created more war, and and did not shut down Gitmo. But Trump actually revamped it, added on all kinds. I mean, there's tons of tax dollars shoved in there. But look at the aerial photos of that, folks, from what it used to be to what it is. And I'll see if I can pull that up real quick before we get out of here. I'm gonna tell you what. I just wanted to say on this basement dwellers over at the Chuck Schumer's or the Adam Shifty Eyes, Shifty Shift, you know, no pain or pain, buddy, no dills. They're in the basement over there. Man. I don't know, you know, do they want their moms to bring them some Hot Pockets as well? As they're in the basement over there, little basement dwellers coming up with some conspiracy theories. They always talk about that's where conspiracy theories come from, is the basements of these houses that people live in there with their moms bringing them Hot Pockets, and they're yelling, "It's too hot, Mom! It's too hot!
No,
I want it." Unbelievable. In the basement. They got it set up in a little basement over there. All right, hold on.
Good morning, Tuesday. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Air view. Images.
Yeah, it's going to fill up, all right. Yep. Can't pull the plug on that. Gitmo will not be leaked out. Obama's buddies are just going to have to stay for the duration. Enjoy the vacation. All right. 3 squares and a cot. Remember? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Good enough for us. It's good enough for them, buddy. Or they can take the other way out. They can be like, you know, the choice is yours. Oh Lord. Yeah, man. I hope everybody's having fun.
I used to have these photos.
Well, you see where they've been showing pictures of McCain in there with this Al Baghdadi guy in the same room, you know, having a little conference. Like that, people probably missed that little picture. Oh yeah, in there with all Baghdadi people, man, having fun, smile on his face. I couldn't believe it when I seen him. But then, you know, of course, McCain's not around anymore. Yeah, he met his demise. Popcorn, people, popcorn. I'm gonna get some caramel corn today, by the way.
Are you? That's good stuff.
Oh man, that stuff I got that one time was awesome. Just great. All I gotta do is watch the computer, man. Munch away. Yeah. The only bad thing is you can't choose the shows that are out there, you know. Just got to take the best of which one's out there.
I'm looking at all kinds of stuff, but I need to military tribunals.
Yeah. Yeah, they're finding out this is no joke. I'm glad we're getting our country back.
This is how it works.
You know, people are working
This is how
now.
it works. All right, we are at the hour mark. I love hitting that. That's what we try to go for here every time, at least the hour show. Get that Patriot Hour to actually mean hour, but that's always meant more. It's the hour of the Patriot. It's our hour to shine. All patriots to come forward, step up. It's our hour in history. All right, not that we've not always been here, but a lot of us been sleeping, and we allowed for some of this treason to enter. We voted in treasonous people. We allowed the abuses. We've turned the blind eye. We argue about Democrats versus Republican instead of the fact that they're both just dirty, dirty people, and we make excuses. So that needs to change. All right, we're going to shut this one down. Woodman, it's always a pleasure that you're, here to host with me. Let's do it again tomorrow. I got some things going on here, real world. I'm going to work on a video for the Patriot Hour, and we'll be back later on, back here tomorrow morning. So we hope you guys will catch us again tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
More info, that's all. Just different info tomorrow. Just different info.
Different info.
Same people. Same people. All right.
Brother.
Everyone, everybody, I hope you have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. And pray, 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 pray.
Yes. Pray for the country. Pray for the president to do the right things and free us of all this, to help undo us and see the right way. All right. We're out of here.
Airborne.
We're get on with some things. I'm going to go ahead and play this video on the way out because it's just awesome. And you guys enjoy.
I don't know if they'll want to have their faces shown, to be honest with you. You know, they're incredible for the country. They're not looking for public relations. But they love doing what they're doing. I've seen it. First Lady was out there recently looking at what they do. She came back, she said, wow, I've never seen anything like that. the training, you know, all of the training and the power of the people, the men and women, the strength, the physical strength, the mental strength. These are incredible people. These are very unique individuals.